I think these are areas where we are seeing a lot of activity, and we want to be able to lean into that and help empower these creators via a community.
Okay, okay. Well, that sounds good to me. So, because when I got invited by Facebook to be a part of this, and I'm like, wow, Meta company is inviting me. Who am I to be invited for something? I'm like, okay, fine. And let me just relax when it's time for the meeting so I will get to know more about what I was invited for. So, it's actually good to hear from you and getting to understand properly what it's all about. So, I think I will say it's a very big pleasure for me to be selected among the many to be invited, and I hope to learn more and grow more with this system.
It's a pleasure to have you on board. I think the groups, as I'm sure you both know, were only recently launched. And so I think there's a lot of room to play, there's a lot of room to grow, and there's a lot of room to evolve.
I say sorry. I just want to ask a question. I know my question might seem a little bit off from the main topic or from the main discussion. Are we gonna one day see Mark Zuckerberg and say hi to him and say thanks for everything?
That's a great
Why are you laughing?
question. Honestly, that's a great question. I wish I knew the answer. I myself have not even gotten the chance to meet Mark. But maybe, who knows? One day, maybe we can get there.
Yeah, well, I'm looking forward to having him on the Zoom call session one day because I have a lot of questions to ask, like a whole lot of questions that I want to ask him. But until then, I'll keep hoping to have him online one day. Page monetization is among the top questions I would love to ask Mark if he ever gets to join this meeting. When it comes to monetization, I'm from Nigeria actually. All right. So when it comes to monetization, Nigerians are actually going through a lot of problems trying to find ways to go around monetization. I don't have the proper calculations to say this, but I think that when you talk about creators, there's no way you can mention Nigerians because we have tons and tons of creators everywhere in Nigeria. So now what Nigerians normally do now is that sometimes we travel outside the country to be in a country that is eligible for us to get monetized. I myself, I did it. I traveled all the way to Turkey. Nigerians are trying so hard to see that they get monetized, and this comes around traveling. Sometimes when your friend travels, you get to give your page to your friend to be the admin. Why you leave your page just because you want your page to be monetized? So in Africa, I think it's only one country that is monetized. I don't know if I'm right, but when I made my check, I think I saw only South Africa as the only country that is monetized. With my knowledge about Facebook payments, I'm not working with Facebook, so I can just say a little bit of what I think I know. I think Facebook pays in a way that they have countries where they send their money to, and then the countries will now pay everybody within that region. To ask Mark and say, when will Nigeria be monetized? Because if you are in this country, there's a lot of talents, and most of our contents are being watched worldwide. And when you are creating contents and you are earning money from it, it's a kind of should I say encouragement to create more contents. Do you understand? So these are the things I would love to ask Mark and say, please look into this and see how to help Nigerians surpass through this. I'm a Nigerian and I love my country and I want what is best for my youth because I know they are trying. When I say they're trying, they are trying. Talking about comedians, talking about musicians, talking about actors, fitness, content creators, a whole lot of them are in Nigeria. But sometimes they get tired and say, okay, fine, I want to move over to YouTube because YouTube pays Nigerians. So it's as if they get tired of Facebook because it doesn't pay, and then they move over to YouTube. And some of them move over to TikTok. So in the end, if you check, Facebook is actually losing some of his fans or its fans in Nigeria because of this ineligible country payment. So whatever the policy is going to be, but at least make Nigeria eligible. If YouTube can do it, I believe Facebook can also do it. It's a matter of finding ways around it. So that's my question to Mark. So if there's a way you can help us send an email, anyhow you can be able to do it, I will so much be happy to see that something positive is being promised or something is going to happen in the nearest future. Thank you.
Thank you, Stan, for sharing that. So I just want to make sure I'm clear. Your question for Mark and your biggest piece of product feedback right now is that as a creator from Nigeria, you don't currently have the opportunity to monetize your page and monetize your content. And what you would love to ask on behalf of your country. Got it. And your fellow Nigerian.
Exactly.
Got it. Okay. Got it. I appreciate you clarifying that with me. I'll definitely be sharing, I think it's a small group of us on the team who are managing each creator community, and we regularly come together to share any insights and feedback we get from the community. So I'll definitely be sharing this with the group.
Oh, I'll be so happy if you share this, and I pray something good or something positive comes out of it, because I believe it's going to be a very big news for the Nigerians when it happens. So thank you so much, Angeline, and I'm looking forward to getting feedback from you over that.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Tim, how are you doing? Are you all settled at home? Looking back on his time as a founder, what would the advice he wants to give to other future business founders and entrepreneurs? I love that question. Thanks for sharing. Let me just share my screen a little bit, just because I want to get to know more about you guys and what you do.
Okay.
Perfect. I had a couple of questions for you guys. So just tell me about yourselves. Tell me about your page. Tell me how you guys first got started in creating fitness. Do you consider yourself a creator? Why not? And then what are you hoping to gain from this community?
I'm answering this question. I think I have to answer it in two places. Coming to when I started fitness, I started understanding what it means to do fitness, did my first press up, love going out to train when I was 10 years. And this was because my aunt was an Olympian. So back then, I don't know anything about fitness. So my aunt, in the person of Njideka Eukaria, she has won 3 gold for Nigeria, 3 silver, and 4 bronze for Nigeria in the Olympics. So she was the one that was like my role model. She started taking me around when if she goes to train. She's a lady. She's my aunt, like I said, but she's damn strong. She can bench press as much as 100 pounds. No, sorry, 110 pounds and more. So she started telling me how to do push-ups and all that. And from there, I started having a kind of likeness for fitness when I was just 10 years old. So fast forward, I got into the high school. I went into karate training. Then when I was done with high school, I went into the university. I had to take a course in human anatomy. I have a Bachelor of Science in Human Anatomy. So in my year 1, when I was in the university, was when I started doing fitness proper, like bench pressing. Started taking extra courses and everything. So, trying to get myself, understanding what it means to be a personal trainer, and I have to take some other extra courses. So professionally, I can say I became a personal trainer professionally in 2014 till date. So that's my personal growth of how I became who I am today. Then coming to when I created my page, it wasn't for should I say gym stuff and fitness stuff. I created my page. The name then was called Scottuga. Scottuga is derived from my name being Scott, and then the Oga there for yoga. I love yoga back then. I was then flexible, but now I'm all muscled up. Like I can't even do a lot of things I used to do back then. You understand? So
Oh
I
wow.
used to do a lot of asana, the bending, the contortion. So I love doing that. That until at a time I'm like, okay, fine. I have to drop this and actually follow what my first love was, which is fitness prop, and that was how I changed my page name to Fit with Stan, and so like I have to start dropping contents, and before you know it, I start growing from strength to strength, and that's just that in a nutshell about myself to date.
Got it. Um, Thank you for sharing that, Stan. And then I guess my last question, what do you hope to gain from the group aside from getting to meet
What do I hope to get from the group?
them? Hmm.
Okay, fine. Coming to what I hope to gain from the group is connection and insight. You understand? When I believe that nobody knows it all. I have something to learn from you. I have something to learn from team. I have something to learn from everybody. So I don't know it all. So what I hope to gain from this group is insights, connection, and more enlightenment that will bring forth more growth for myself.
Got it. So it sounds like for you, Stan, more educational resources on
Yeah,
how you can
more educational
adapt
resources,
it.
and
Say that
also
to say that fitness has always been a part of, it's always been a part of my life. I've always been like working out, like training for a
Mhm.
sport. So like when I was younger, I was always playing sports, and it was just a natural progression to just do it as a profession because it was just always something that I always loved, and so now it never feels like work. So, uh,
I
that's
love
that's why I started doing fitness. What inspired me to start creating content? It was just initially it was all just business related. Like I used to be very private. I didn't want anybody to know what I was doing. I didn't care. I was one of those guys. The non-progressive, I
that.
guess you can say.
the next question I really want to ask is this. Is allowed to have more than one page on Facebook, right? It's not a crime.
Hmm.
So let's
Hmm.
assume I'm a creator and I have more than one page on Facebook, and I'm creating my two pages are actually on the same niche. Let's take for example on a comedy niche or technology niche or finance niche, any niche at all. And these two pages of mine belongs to the same niche. So I have one of the pages is the major page, and the other one is a separate page that has a different audience, probably in different country because of the reach and everything. So if I'm monetized in the both pages, is it going to be a copyright violation for any of the page to say that I'm getting my content from another page since I'm the owner of the page? I don't know if you have an answer to this.
Yeah, I can tell you right off the bat, Stan, I would not know the answer to that, but I'm happy to ask around and see if I can come back with an answer for you.
Because
Um,
I have some people that are under me. I actually have a group of like 30 creators that I have on WhatsApp. So I'm their leader, like they call me their engineer and everything. I help them to take care of some little software issues. So some of them have two pages, and they tend to have this issue of limited content originality violation. And whenever I go through it, it is still their content, but probably because they've posted the same content on a different page, still owned and managed by them, this violation tends to come up. So that's why I want to ask if it's wrong to post the same kind of content on two pages owned by you, answering the same name also by you, or should the person just create a total two different contents and post on two different pages? So whenever I have the question, I believe you'll find a way to get them to me. So I have two questions for you: the one of monetization for Nigerians, and then the one of having two pages and posting. So I'll be waiting to hear from you over time.
Thank you, Stan. I appreciate that. Let me ask around and see if there's any resources I can find around just like page monetization and I think you mentioned copyright infringement and like what are kind of like the guardrails behind that. So let me ask around and see what I can find.
Okay, all right. I appreciate.
How about you, Tim?
I think I'm questioned out. I don't think I have more.
Okay. No worries. I'm here in the group, obviously every day. I think we want to have more meet and greets in the future. Did you both find this helpful?
Yeah,
it was good.
Very helpful. It's good to connect with someone that's. I feel like I'm talking to Facebook. Yeah, so it's great for me.
I mean, yeah, you kind of are. Yeah, no, that's fair. I appreciate the feedback. We'll definitely, look to host more meet and greets in the future and hopefully get more folks in there just because I know both of you mentioned connections with other creators is something that you would also really value. So definitely want to make sure we're incorporating that and making sure that we are listening to what everyone in the community has to say, and we're making sure that the community is of value to everyone.
Okay. All right. Sounds good.
Perfect.
Awesome. Thank you both so much. I have an amazing evening. Have an amazing the rest of your day, Tim. I'm here if you need anything. It's been an awesome afternoon getting to meet you both.
All righty. Have a good one.
So looking forward to hearing.